So this is for me a couple days ago, actually July 4th. So America's birthday. If you celebrate, I hope you enjoyed it. Because she's getting to a point where there's really no telling how many birthdays the girl's got left. So I hope you made the most of this one. This is just our normal like kind of tour. So this is a couple days old, like in the midst of the heat dome. Obviously, we were looking at what is mostly tomatoes and the collection of garlic chives that is expanding. Since this, I have gone in and tied those in some more. They really kind of needed it. So I planted a lot of them towards the middle, so they weren't coming up through the thing yet, and they really needed to be. You get a little visit from Kira in the back. But yeah, the tomatoes are doing really well now. On their last video, I was talking about how a lot of the ones we planted weren't doing well, and so we went and got some from the nursery to kind of round things out. I mean, any excuse to buy more plants is a good excuse to buy more plants. I think that's how any gardener worth their salt feels. But yeah, the tomatoes are doing well. Real quick look over here at the strawberries where everything is growing, including strawberries. There's some grass I got to get out still from that hay or straw. It keeps coming out. But those petunias that came from God knows where, they certainly weren't planted there, but they look fantastic. Then we have some marigolds that may have been planted there. I'm not sure. That sunflower certainly wasn't. And the last of the tomato beds, you see the cilantro is doing great. I've been eating out of the garden at least mint-wise for a while and salad-wise, even though the salad stuff's mostly done now. But yeah, the tomatoes are coming along good. We've already got some on some of the cherry tomatoes. A peek at the pond now. Still hadn't had the pump in there, looking pretty rough. But we'll come. Well, actually, I do have the new pump in there, but it's not running. We'll come back to it. Those cucumbers were not planted that are going up there, and you see, this is the middle of the heat dome, and lots of things are suffering. I went in and hand watered a lot of this stuff early on in the day, and so it's perking up. Thing about doing these videos and not having the time to release them on the day is that these things look a lot better. We've had a lot of thunderstorms the past 2 days. Things got a lot more water. So things have changed. I thought about doing a comparison video, but I ain't got time for that. Look at, there's a nice little, oh, what do you call that? Why did my brain just fart on me? Oh, an eggplant, a nice little eggplant. And now we're to the pond again. This is actually yesterday in the pond because it was a nice sunny day. It was running. I thought I would take you out there. Still need to get a cover for that basin. I actually want more water in that basin in the long run, but just because I don't have a cutter, I wasn't trying to get it set how it should be. And as you can see there, our resident, he's our senior resident, I suppose. But he's just chilling there in the water and the shade. Like, you don't see me. You don't see me, but he's there. Living his best frog life. Just chilling in the pretty massive water cannons that are coming up. Tons of stuff for that one water lily. I guess I'm going to have to go in there and separate that rhizome because no, I haven't seen any buds on that one. And this is usually the time they start flowering, as evidenced by some memories. And I haven't seen any buds, so there's way too much pads there, and they've been cut back. So it's not that they haven't been cut back early in the year, but I imagine I haven't pulled that one out. That one's real deep in there. So I imagine the rhizome may need to be split, and we need another water feature. Maybe I'll try and install it somewhere else. Our new roses that we had put out Just some little blooms now, nothing like we were doing earlier, which you can find on some shorts. You won't find it on like a longer video. Squash are doing well in the squash bed. That was a bed that got cleared and flame weeded before we planted it up. That seems to be doing well. All the flame weeded stuff seemed to work fairly well, even though some needs some work. There are some actual celosias. You know, they are celosias there. They are not weeds. Some of our celosias were actually weeds. Like those. Those aren't celosias. See a few more of those not celosias. But this flower border stays pretty full. They get weeded a lot. You can't really weed it all year. It's just hard to get in there. It's kind of designed that way. That's why it's flowering plants and not food plants. On the inside here, you have gourds. On the outside, you have pumpkins. They perked up a lot because, like I said, I hand watered some things with some rainwater catchment earlier that day. Over here is our trellis bed. Our trellis bed, you know, or bed trellis bed. I'm not sure. I haven't thought of a good name. Those passion fruit vines came back from some seeds that were given to me by some friends who watered for me one year. Most of what in there has been there. That is like a purple cayenne, which are like, they're peppers, but they're very good ornamentals. And now we're back to the other morning and the beautiful, beautiful morning light. Some of our flowers, and we'll go through some flowers here. This is it's a different day, but it's early morning. I don't color correct any of this. Don't think I ever have. I'm too lazy. But I have learned the very smart thing that I think all photographers know is that morning light is the best. Morning light, late evening light is a close second, I feel like. But you don't get those colors in the middle of the day. And you might be able to color correct and get there. But one, I'm not trying to alter things that way. Like I said, I'm also lazy. But I think it's better. I think it's better when you get something in the right light at the right time of day. Like, I just love those. They're kind of tattered. They look painted almost, like they're not real. But they're all very real. And like I said, the colors are very real too. This is just that beautiful, light morning light. Like, I was going to work and everything looked so good that I was like, I have to film these now. You know. And you just ignore the mess. At our fruit trees, just a little bit of them scattered throughout here. Our plums, which these are like a golden plum. We might get some. The squirrels might not get them all this year. Well, they might not all fall off from the drought because the rain didn't help them. On our front garden bed, the lucifer has done really well. It's also seeded everywhere and begun to spread. That's a lot of the stuff we're finally seeing fruit of over the years. Between planting stuff over and over and figuring out what does well, is we're getting a lot of self-seeded stuff. Like that bee balm is all either come back or self-seeded. We didn't plant any bee balm there this year, probably not in a couple of years. The lucifer was planted probably a couple of years ago and it's spreading. More apples than I've ever seen on that tree. Usually they're almost all gone too this time of year, so fingers crossed on some apples. There's a couple other trees with apples. Like I said, we're kind of going back and forth. I wasn't going to edit this up. This is like late evening. This is already late evening, so it's good light. It's good light. It's not that harsh midday light. Like, I don't know why I film midday, because it looks awful. It's really hot. And like, yeah, it's kind of dumb. Little passing flower there. Sorry if you're getting a little dizzy. Don't worry, we're right. I think we're back right. There's some peaches. Some more peaches. I thought I might edit that, but you know, it leaves a little excitement in. You don't know what's about to happen. And what's about to happen is some more flowers. Same day, evening light. You hear the birds. Just love that flower. There's a lot of different, I think they're all variations of brown-eyed Susies. I love that one. I don't know the names of the different ones. Maybe some of you do. It doesn't matter to me. I just think they're pretty. And now we're to the thing that I'm most excited about. is we're getting watermelons. We've always had one or two. They have never done like this. I flame weeded this bed. I pulled everything out of it because there's a bunch of stuff in the lower part, and the watermelons are always, kind of planted on the northern side, and they got shaded out, and they were kind of blocked in because we had bags. And what I'm searching for is there's a watermelon in there, not quite the size of a volleyball already. I can't find it because there's all these leaves, and I'm looking for this watermelon. And you see we got all these leaves. Well, what I did see and go back and look at is we got some cantaloupes too. We've planted cantaloupes and like honeydews, and we've never gotten anything really. And there's quite a few of those little ones. We'll see. Still looking for that watermelon because I was on this side when I saw it, but it's actually on the other side. Because if you grow stuff like this, like watermelons or squash or pumpkins, you often can't see it when you're closest. You kind of have to get the right angle. There's that watermelon again. And what we're going to see here in a minute, this is me, is that it? Oh, and then I step on something. What did I step on? A watermelon. And there's two watermelons there, and I don't know that I saw the second one when I took that shot. But then there's the big guy. And it's hard to tell on camera, but that guy is bigger than my hand. It's almost the size of a volleyball. So really hopeful about watermelons. If you know me personally and happen to watch this channel and you want some watermelons, when the time comes, let me know you want to know when the time comes. And we'll probably give you some watermelons. And if you want to pay me for them, you can, but it's not really that important. And there's a nice size cantaloupe, probably about the size of a baseball right now. That grapevine is doing well. That grapevine is doing well. That grapevine, I don't know what happened. It's not water. So you can see there's, new growth on the bottom. But I don't know what's happened there. I've cut it back just to keep it from hopefully not affecting the other. There's got to be a disease. And we're going to finish up with a quick look. That little pond is doing great. There's not a lot to show here. This is again in the middle of the heat. We'll show it a little better again next time. Maybe it'll get its own little video. But yeah, that's it. That's how things are right now. I know I skipped the shade garden and some other things, but that's the really important stuff. So hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for sticking around to the end. And there are literally 2 cuts in that dialogue, and so that's good. We're going to leave it like that. Have a good day.